Hi there, I'm Tim Linsdau, video producer, Christian, amongst other things. Just enjoy history. So a little bit on history, politics, without getting too far out there and too much judgment and too much argument. I want to talk about politics. It's a big part of the news this time of the year. From my opinion, really politics today, maybe always, is about liberty and tyranny, and that's what it amounts to. We could pick out individuals and individual arguments and argue about those all day, but that's what it eventually boils down to, is tyranny or liberty. And if you take some time to look at the history of America, and examine the Constitution and those that wrote it, that's what they were about. We're seeking liberty. Jefferson wrote about that our Creator gave us life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's based on individual liberty. I don't know if you can hear that noise or not, but that's an F-18 going over, I think, U.S. Marine Air Corps. That's what you call it. It seems to be a path in my area. I'm just happy to know that that's ours, not somebody else's. And that's part of liberty, because that's what our government and our system is charged with, is to protect us as Americans, to pursue liberty, to pursue an economy that fits us and works for us as each individual person. One of the dangers of government, and the forefathers recognized it, is that people would create not liberty but tyranny in trying to control things. Seems to be the propensity of human beings wanting to control everything, and the government is the worst at it. Rather than letting people to be free to pursue their interests. Now, of course, it's one of our arguments from the point of religion or Christianity, is that is the glue that holds the system of liberty together and makes it work, which is very important to the survival of liberty, to anybody's freedom. And that's where the real challenge is. The 20th century was full of countries, large, massive countries, using tyranny to control everything. And getting back to the religion part, those big organizations or countries were godless in their philosophy. So they had to hold things together with tyranny or oppression or fear and intimidation to hold it together. And eventually people tire of that. I remember hearing something from people from the Soviet Union saying about their system, is that in work, they said, we pretended to work and they pretended to pay us. And that's a lot of how tyrannies work. It takes suppression to make it work. The thing about liberty boils down to people seeking peace and joy and brotherhood amongst their family and their neighbors. And you have to have that to make liberty work. Otherwise, people just do what they think is right. That could be anything, from the worst to the best. So we do have laws to protect us from each other and from nations attacking us. And that's really the position of should be of our government, is to protect us rather than rule over us and make decisions about us every day, rather than letting us make our own decisions. And that's the struggle between liberty and tyranny. And that's really what it's all about. In this election time, that's the choice you're going to have to make. Is your representative supporting the most for your liberty or for tyranny? Now, tyranny can sound like a strong word compared to liberty. But interestingly enough, when they do pass laws or have rules and regulations and bureaucracies, those are enforced by the gun of the government. They are enforced by our government to fulfill these laws. Once you have established these regulations and laws, they are required to enforce them. And it can only be done with the power of government, which is the power of the gun, or the power of the purse to take your money away, even to take your life away. And that's what happens when you start to want the government to control everything. And I know that gets frustrating because we see things around us seemingly out of control. We don't like a business that's better than us, say, that puts us out of business. And that's one of the struggles of liberty. That can happen. And it has to be allowed to happen to be free. Which is a motivator for you or an individual to become better at what they do. Of course, there's exceptions with those who are disabled, ill, that type of thing. But even there, people will still try to do their best. I have, old age symptoms. Also have Parkinson's. Takes some of my ability away. And over time, if I continue to live that long, will get worse. Unless some amazing scientists in the field of science, given a lot of liberty and ability to pursue a cure, maybe they'll find something. But till then, that's the way it is. So we press on, we make the most of it. Use your liberty to not only benefit you and your family, but to benefit others. And ultimately, that's what it's about. In your effort, in your economy, to provide for yourself and your family and others, it gives you the ability to pursue what fits you, what works for you, that can fill your desires and your talents through that liberty. I think I mentioned once before in a vlog that an example was that I read, I think in Thomas Sowell's Basic Economics. It said the guy on the corner with his gas station knows more about that business than the CEO of the oil company that's up on his gas station. And that's what liberty's about. It captures, the value of it is it captures the mental capacity of every citizen in a country to participate in the economy. So you capture all of that mental prowess, if you will, opportunities to learn, to listen, and that's what real liberty does. It opens that up for the value of everyone and the pursuit of happiness. Also remember, the pursuit of happiness is the pursuit, not a guarantee. What it does is guarantee you to pursue it. And that's a lot, it's protecting us, where the government protects us to do these things. And so, in tyranny, where everybody's trying to control everything, fix everything, and we've seen in the 20th century where that led to tens of millions of people perishing, wars and strife, all over those two issues. So take the time to think about that. Many of you have already voted in these elections. But think about that for next time, and those of you who haven't voted, think about that, what it means when you vote for something. And does it lean more towards liberty, or does it lean more towards tyranny? And give that some thought. So today, be happy for the freedoms you have, and consider pursuing liberty at all times. Thank you. I'm Tim Linsdau. This has been a pleasure. Comment and like my videos and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.